Okay, let's just jump right in. We're not talking about just another software update or a new app. Nope, we are looking at a fundamental, ground-level shift in how businesses are going to run, and it's all being driven by something new, the rise of the AI employee.
And look, this isn't just hype. You've got analysts and top X basically calling this the biggest, most important business decision of the year. We're talking about a move to what they call Agentic AI. AI that can actually do things on its own. We've moved way, way beyond simple chatbots. This is a whole new era.
And the speed is just mind-blowing. Think about this. It took traditional AI something like 8 years to really get its hooks into big companies. This new Agentic AI, it's hit a 35% adoption rate in just 2 years. That kind of velocity is completely unprecedented. So let's properly introduce this new player on the field, shall we? The AI employee. It's not just a tool that helps you out, it's an autonomous agent. It actively gets in there and executes really complex tasks all by itself.
Here's a way to think about it that really clicks. It's like companies are giving their software the digital version of a corporate credit card and the keys to the kingdom, the API keys. They are literally empowering these systems to act and spend money on the company's behalf. They're going from passive helpers to active players in the business.
And you know what always follows the trend, right? The money. The market for these AI agents is just set to explode. We're talking from just under $8 billion today to over $52 billion by 2030. That's a compound annual growth rate of over 46%. Absolutely wild.
So, to really get how we got here, you have to understand the huge technological leap that's happening. It's this massive pivot from the AI we all got used to, chatbots, to this whole new world of autonomous agents. So the real difference, the secret sauce, it boils down to two things: memory and autonomy. A chatbot answers your question and then poof, it forgets the entire conversation. An agent, though, it has what's called a stateful memory. It remembers the context, the project details, the rules, which lets it solve complex problems on its own over a long time without a person holding its hand.
And this is a perfect real-world example of what I'm talking about. A big lumber supplier automated their order process. So now an AI agent grabs a messy, unstructured PDF, it actually understands it, applies all these complicated pricing rules, and boom, creates a draft order. A job that took a person 20 minutes is now a 2-minute review. Game changer.
And how are companies actually building these things? Well, it turns out nearly half of them are going with a hybrid approach. They're grabbing some off-the-shelf stuff, but then mixing it with their own custom code so they can wire these agents deep into their own unique internal systems.
Okay, so this whole thing is creating an entirely new machine economy. But, and this is a big but, putting this AI workforce on the payroll comes with some really complex and, frankly, shocking costs that a lot of leaders just aren't seeing yet. I mean, on the surface, the appeal is so obvious, right? A human manager could cost you $120,000 a year plus benefits. The software for a really good AI agent, it could be as little as $20 a month. It works 24/7, doesn't need healthcare, never takes a vacation. It looks like a total no-brainer. But here's the catch. That little monthly fee, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The one-time cost to actually develop a secure, robust, enterprise-level agent system, that can easily run you over $300,000 right out of the gate.
And then you get the hidden knockout punch. It's being called the token consumption crisis. Okay, so think of tokens as the fuel for an AI, the words and data it chews through. A single agent running non-stop can burn through billions of these tokens a day. For a big company, this can make a totally manageable $20 million AI budget explode to an insane $2 billion a year.
And this crazy cost dynamic is what's fueling the rise of this new agent-to-agent economy. We're staring down a future where machines are going to be doing trillions of dollars in business directly with other machines, with humans nowhere in the loop.
But okay, let's be real. When you give these autonomous systems the keys to the company bank account, you're introducing some massive new risks. So what happens when one of these AI employees makes a really, really big mistake?
This is the question that's creating a whole new accountability gap in corporate law. I mean, you can't sue an algorithm, right? So when an agent signs a disastrous contract or wires away a bunch of money it wasn't supposed to, who's on the hook? Where does the buck actually stop? And the stakes here are unbelievably high. In fact, Gartner is predicting that because of these huge governance gaps and, frankly, poor return on investment, Over 40% of all these agentic AI projects are just going to be canceled by 2027.
You see, the technical risks are a whole new beast. One bad agent can poison the decisions of an entire network. You can have malicious instructions, called prompt injections, hidden in data that can totally hijack an agent, leading to massive financial chaos and data breaches.
So to even operate safely, companies have to put in two guardrails that are just non-negotiable. For the really sensitive stuff, you need a human in the loop, a person who has to approve every single decision. For the more autonomous systems, you need a human at the helm, someone who sets the strategy and then watches the results like a hawk.
Okay, so this all brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most profound one. The revolution this AI employee is kicking off in the human workforce.
You know, for the last couple of years, everyone's been saying the same thing. AI is coming for the entry-level repetitive jobs. That's been the story. But the data that's actually coming in now, it tells a very, very different story.
That's right, the biggest disruption is not at the bottom of the ladder. It's right in the middle. The core job of a middle manager, coordinating tasks, tracking progress, routing information, that is exactly the kind of repeatable, rules-based work that these AI agents are perfectly designed to automate.
And this table, well, it just says it all. You've got a traditional 50-person operations team being replaced by this tiny, hyper-lean structure. A couple of people to manage the agents, a specialist to check their work, and one expert for the really tricky stuff. Entire layers of companies are just getting flattened.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? The future of work isn't about, well, doing the work anymore. The real value, the thing that will give companies their edge, is going to come from the human skill of designing, governing, and strategically directing this new AI workforce. That's the whole new ballgame.